Hey guys, it's Jake Games here, and today I'm going to bring you my Infernoid Burning Abyss deck profile. And just to let you know, this is what I feel comfortable with playing. So if you want to change any of this deck to what you want to play, go right ahead. And so yeah, so I played three Decatron. Decatron is staple at three for Infernoids because what he does is when he's normal or special summoned, you can automatically send an Infernoid from your deck to your graveyard, and he'll gain the level and the effects of the monster you sent. I play three Antra. Antra is another staple in the deck. What he does is you banish one Infernoid, and you summon him from your hand, grave, and he can return a monster on the field to the owner's hand. And then all Infernoids share this last effect, except a few. And that effect is you can tribute a monster on your field to target a card in your opponent's graveyard and banish it from the game. Next, I play three Infernoid Harmadike. Harmadike is another banish one, and he can destroy a monster on the field during your turn only, and he can't attack that turn, and he also has the banish effect. And with Antra, he can only return during your turn as well. Two of the best card for Infernoids, Seismetes. He's a banish 2, and if he makes a successful attack, he can banish something on the field, and then he also has the banish effect of during your opponent's turn or during your turn. Two Atandel. He can make 2 attacks if his first attack successfully goes through, and then he also has the banish effect, and he's a banish 2 to summon. And then one Inoku. Inoku is a banish 3 to summon. Inoku is a dark hole on summon, except for himself, and he's one of the few Infernoids that doesn't have the banish effect. But what his effect is you contribute a monster to negate a spell or trap activation and banish the spell or trap that was activated instead. And one last thing with Infernoids is you can only summon them if your combined level or rank is less than 8. So if you had Inoku out on board, you couldn't summon any other Infernoids except for Decatron, because Decatron doesn't have that effect. So just to make it clear, you couldn't go Atandel. You couldn't go double Atandel, and because it doesn't specify that you can't have an 8 and then you proceed to go low, have another 8 on board. But you can't go Atandel, Seismetes. It doesn't add up like that. So it's 15 Infernoids. And then for the Burning Abyss engine of the deck, I play the staple of Triple Scarm. Triple Scarm is like the most standard card in the deck, because if he's sent to the graveyard, you can add a level 3 Fiend from your deck to your hand, which is what this whole deck pretty much is. You've got the 2 Farfas. Farfa is a banished monster on the field if it's sent to the graveyard. The 1 Libic, which is you can special summon a Dark Fiend from your hand, but its effects are negated. Alec, which negates monster effects until the end of the turn. Calcab, which returns a set spell or trap to the opponent's hand. Seer and Graf and Seer, which are staple. Graf special summons a Burning Abyss from deck, and Seer from the graveyard. Even though they're both at 1, it is still possible to loop them. The board just has to be very situational. Barbar, which you can banish to inflict up to 900, 300 for each Burning Abyss you send. And then 1 Rubik, who's just in here for the rank 3 plays, because we don't play Virgil in this deck. Important to note with Burning Abyss is they can only be special summoned if you control no spells or traps. And if you special summon one, so let's say I special summon Scarm, and my opponent has a counter for that, and they activate Bottomless Trap Hole if it was higher than 1500. You're not, well, my bad. Let's say they activate Solemn Warning, you're not going to get your effect off because you activated the effect of special summoning, because Burning Abyss can only get their effects one of two ways. So you get the effect of once per turn you can special summon this card, and once per turn if this card hits a graveyard, if that makes any sense. And the Burning Abyss count is 12, so between Infernoid and Burning Abyss there are 27 monsters. And then just for other support cards, we have Tour Guide and the three Fiendish Rhino Warrior, which will send fiends to the graveyard when he's destroyed, and Tour Guide, which searches out in a fiend when it's summoned, but its effects are negated. And then to finish up the monsters, we have 4 Kaijus, Thunder King, Mad Flame, and 2 Dust. So the monster count is 34. And then for the spell count, we have 2 Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, which is for the Kaiju engine. Generally, it's the first effect is what's going to go through more. You're just going to blow up the board, summon 2 Kaijus. But sometimes I do go to the second effect of banishing to search out a Kaiju if I really need to. And then some personal choices. 2 Pot of Equivalents. This deck does a lot of banishing, so you can shuffle 3 banished cards back into your deck and draw 1, which is nice because you can do that during your opponent's turn as well. The 1 for 1 to get out Decatron a lot quicker. Lullaby of Obedience. I know people are probably like, why are you playing that in Infernoids? It's because if you know the matchup you're playing, you can pay 2k to take a key card from your opponent. And I've always thought that's a very crucial thing to do, especially in today's game. And then for the 2 traps, 1 Blazing and 1 Quaking. Quaking just to flip monsters face down if it's a direct attack, and Blazing to, if it's something I don't want to deal with, I'll just destroy all the monsters and take half the life point damage with my opponent. So it's a 42 card deck. And then for the current, quote-unquote, current extra deck, I have 1 Dante Pilgrim, 1 Dante, 1 Beatrice, the Phantom Fortress, which is probably the best Exceed to make for the rank 9 plays in this deck, F-Zero, Chronomaly Crystal Chrononaut. Not many people play this because I guess they just don't see the value in playing it, but when this is a card that is essentially a magic cylinder that can't be destroyed during your opponent's turn, it's really good. And then number 20 and number 30, as well as Castell. Castell actually might get cut from the deck. He's actually never been made. He's so conditional to make, or situational to make, because the only way in this deck right now to make him is you have to have 2 Infernoid Decatrons on board, and you had to have sent 2 Infernoid Harmodikes, so that's your only way of making a rank 4 play. So, yeah. And then just to show you a quick little combo in the deck, you can go, let's say you have Decatron in hand with Kaiju Slumber, and these are going to be the 2 targets you get. And we're going to need that later. So you can go Kaiju Slumber to negate destroy the opponent's board, to summon Thunder King to your side and the Moth to your opponent's side. Then you summon Decatron, who on summon is going to send an Infernoid to your graveyard. So you're going to send a Tondel because he's level 8. You can then Exceed to make the rank 9 play, and then you have a rank 9 Exceed on your board. And is there anything else? And that's about it. I just wanted to show you guys that deck profile and that trick to how to get out the rank 9 play. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.